Okay, stop selling websites. I said it, I mean it, and in this video, I will explain why. Obviously, if you are a web designer, you might think this sounds crazy, right? But by the end of this video, you will understand why this mindset shift will transform your career as a freelancer. And I will show you a much more effective approach to thrive in a competitive market. Okay, so we have an illustration of a brain right here. And when you try to sell a website, you activate your prospect's prefrontal cortex, which is this area right here. And this is the brain's analytical center. On the other hand, if you focus on selling outcomes, you activate your prospect's limbic system, which is this area of the brain right here, the emotional center of the brain. So your prospect connects with what you are saying emotionally, while their prefrontal cortex, the logical part of the brain, agrees with the decision. And while both of these brain regions are always working together, talking about outcomes first creates a more powerful emotional connection that supports the logical decision-making process. And this works because emotional responses typically have more influence on our decisions than pure logic alone. Usually, when your prospect hears the word website, their prefrontal cortex kicks in and they start asking analytical questions to themselves. So basically, they ask questions like, do I really need this? How much will it cost? What's the ROI on this? The return on investment? Can I find it cheaper? So basically, they will start overthinking and then they will say something like, okay, I will think about it. And you will probably never hear about them again. When you talk about outcomes, something amazing happens. So basically, the limbic system, this area right here, becomes engaged. And this is the brain center for emotion, motivation, and reward processing. And now the prospect will start thinking differently. They will think, okay, so I will get more clients. And also, I can make more money, right? And then the ROI can be huge. So this is exciting, okay? And then also, my company will grow. With this approach, your chances to close this prospect will be way higher. And now they engage both parts of the brain, the emotional center of the brain, and then the analytical center of the brain. And then they will start daydreaming and then visualizing. And if the outcome connects with whatever you are offering, that's when you close the prospect and becomes a client. Okay, so picture this for clarity. As I explained, when you focus on outcomes, you create a strong emotional engagement through the limbic system, which often plays a leading role in the initial decision-making process. And while the prefrontal cortex is actively involved in analyzing the decision, that emotional connection to the outcome can be particularly influential in moving someone towards a yes. Okay? So instead of saying, I build beautiful websites for coaches and consultants, you say something like, I help mental health coaches and consultants making 10K or more per month attract more qualified leads through high converting web design. And this is powerful because it targets a specific audience, okay? Mental health coaches and consultants. It shows clear business outcomes. So basically, you are helping them attract more qualified leads. It demonstrates understanding of their goals. And basically, you have to do your research, right? Before obviously selecting your niche and all that stuff. You have to know exactly what they want. And then you have to basically craft a strong positioning statement. And here is what a strong positioning statement looks like. Going back to the brain, I want to emphasize something. You have to understand that these two parts of the brain work together. If only the limbic system were active, we would get stuck in indecision and endless daydreaming. On the other hand, if only the prefrontal cortex were active, we would function like robots, right? Logical, but without emotional engagement.
I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both.
When prospects see that you understand their business goals, their struggles, and their vision for success, you build genuine connections. And this is not about manipulation. It's about truly aligning your services with their wants and needs. Here is an example. Let's say your prospect owns a SaaS company at 60K monthly recurring revenue, aiming for 100K. Here are some key questions to uncover opportunities and better understand their business. So, what's the biggest challenge keeping you from scaling past 60K per month? What's your current conversion rate from trial to paid? What's your most effective way of getting new users right now? And what's your current customer acquisition cost, and are you comfortable with it at this stage? And then once you understand their current situation, you can show them the potential impact your services can have on their business. Most designers say something like this when talking with a prospect. I'm going to design a beautiful and responsive website that's easy to use and will wow your users. Don't say that. Instead, when talking with prospects, you should say something like this. If your website currently converts at 1%, improving that to just 1.2%, which is basically a 0.2 percentage point increase, might not sound like much, but for a SaaS business, as you probably know, it's a game changer. And then you continue with something like this. If you are getting 50,000 visitors per month and each customer brings in $200 monthly recurring revenue, that seemingly small conversion rate lift means 100 extra customers per month, adding $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue or $240,000 in revenue per year. That's nearly $250,000 in annual recurring revenue without increasing traffic. As you probably notice here, I said to the prospect, as you probably know. And this has a psychological impact because I'm telling them that I respect their intelligence. And I just did the same thing with you right now. Your prospect's prefrontal cortex will probably still generate some objections. And what do? You show them the value you provide, you break it down, and then you show them the cost, and they will realize that this is a no-brainer offer. And this is if everything goes as planned. However, they probably will still have some objections, okay? They will probably be like, so what if it doesn't go as well? You can show them. Instead of a 0.2 percentage point increase, let's say it's a modest 0.06 percentage point increase. It's still a no-brainer offer. And the point I want to make with this video is that many people focus on this only, some other people focus on this only, some other people focus on both. But when you combine value, functionality, aesthetics, and honesty, that's when you deliver true excellence. I would like to invite you to apply to join the Web Designers Collective if you are not a member yet. It's a free web design community where we share high-value content, and you will also have the opportunity to connect with designers from around the world. Once a week, I host a free Q&A call, as you can see right here. And during this live Q&A session, you will have the opportunity to ask me any questions you have. I'm very active in the community, so it's also a great way to interact with me directly. Even though we launched just a few months ago, we've already grown to 1,400 plus members, and we are growing every day. Our members come from almost every corner of the world: the Americas, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Oceania. As you can see here, the demand to join is crazy right now. However, we are accepting new members every single day. Applying takes less than 1 minute. Just go to webdesignerscollective.com, click join group, answer 3 quick questions, and apply. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.